Hi, it's Baxter Scruggs, Guild Mortgage Company. Want to go over real quick something we've been seeing a lot of recently, which are appraisal waivers. So I got a call or an email from a realtor that said, "Hey, Mrs. Smith is wondering if she wants to do a waiver on her appraisal on this file." And hearing that kind of made me think, like, okay, we need some explanations on what appraisal waivers are, because it's not something that you can just decide to get or not get, or want to do or not want to do. So when lenders run files through automated underwriting, and that's either DU, desktop underwriter, or LP, loan prospector for Freddie Mac, desktop underwriters, Fannie Mae. When you run it through there, whether it's a refinance or a purchase, if you're putting a decent enough money down, like 5% down is not going to work, probably 10 is not going to work. 20% or more, usually you start to see potentially an appraisal waiver. When we run it through, instantaneously it's also doing kind of like an appraisal, almost like a desktop appraisal, like within seconds, checking that zip code, checking that room count, the property address, square footage, all those types of things for that property. And if it finds enough information out there to say, yep, this value seems legitimate, it will issue an appraisal waiver, meaning you do not need an appraisal. So it's all based on artificial intelligence through either loan prospector or desktop underwriter, and the system is the one that calls it. And we're seeing it both on purchases and refinances now, but it's not a lender decision, it's not a borrower decision, not a seller decision. It's literally automated underwriting, artificial intelligence that does kind of instantaneous value check. So I'll give you an example. If we're doing a refinance and the property's worth $500,000, somebody's getting a $300,000 loan, we put $500,000 in the value, and it checks it, says fine, waive the appraisal. If we put $1 million valuation on that, even with a $300,000 loan amount, the system's going to look and say, we're not seeing a value supported at $1 million, it'll require an appraisal. So it really has to do with the amount of either the sales price or the appraised value the lender puts in relative to what information it can pull that supports the value or doesn't support the value. So just like a normal appraisal, if you've got a house in the middle of the neighborhood, in the middle of a tract where there's a lot of comparable sales, pretty easy to do an appraisal waiver. You got appraisal waiver with enough money down or loan to value low enough. If you've got a custom home on the side of a mountain, odds are there's just not going to be enough information for the system to pull and say, oh yes, this is the value that we think it's worth. So most of those times you're going to get an appraisal required. So that's kind of what a appraisal waiver is. We're seeing it a lot more now. And again, at least 20% down, clean file or low loan to value on a refinance or a purchase increases the likelihood of it. And we don't know if it's going to be waived until we actually run automated underwriting. If you have any questions on that or need more details on that, feel free to reach out to us, or any questions on home loans. That's what we're here for. My number is 760-497-7705. Hope you're staying safe.